Hello and welcome. This video will show you how to create the basic elements of an XML compensation plan. Let's get started by logging into the corporate office. In the Commissions section, click the Compensation Plan XML tab to navigate to the XML editor. The Compensation Plan XML page uses XML to describe compensation plans. Every template will begin with the line, "This defines the XML version and the character encoding." Next, we have to define the template. Contain templates within the opening and closing template tag. Every element in an XML document must have a beginning and ending tag, or begin and end within one tag. The set rank tag above is self-closing because it ends with a slash, meaning it doesn't need a separate set rank closing tag. This set rank element also has an attribute named rank. Use attributes to set values for an element. For more complex values, nest elements within each other. For example, the template tag below has rules within it. One of the rules is, which has conditions required to meet. If met, you'll become a rank 5 associate. In this example, the associate needs to meet the conditions for active and G1, as well as have at least 150 personal volume from volume equals PQV. You must define these terms elsewhere in the template. As you build your commission template, you define different types of volume, where they come from, and how to earn them. You then use these volumes later on in calculating payouts and determining which rank the associate has earned. Define the template's name in the COM period element. The COM period has general information about the template. This can include the name and volume range or date range for each period. The name here must match the template name in the template selector and must be the last attribute defined in the COM period. Typically, the template name is the same as the period it represents: weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, etc. To work properly, it's important that every template's revision and COM period name match. Template names and template revisions are case sensitive and can be no longer than 50 characters. Use volume ranges to set separate date ranges to count volume. The volume range in COM period is the master default used by everything. For example, let's say you gave orders placed in the first week of the month double volume. Then, define another range for the beginning of the month that adds up the volume. Each volume range is a name attribute. Set the name as anything you want. You can reference the name throughout the compensation plan. The core part of the volume ranges is the range type. See the link in the description below to view different range types available to use. Volumes define different kinds of volume your plan needs to track, as well as how to count them. Volumes use the volume groups attribute to determine from where the volume comes. Possible options include CV, the commissionable volume set on the items purchased; QV, the qualifying volume set on the items purchased; subtotal, value of orders placed excluding tax and shipping; total, value of orders placed including tax and shipping; order count, the number of orders placed; item count, quantity of items sold. For example, an order with an item quantity of 5 equals 5 volume. Unique items, number of items sold. For example, an order with an item quantity of 5 counts as 1 volume. Each volume defined will assign a value to each associate. Use volume to qualify for a rank, calculate a commission bonus, and display as a KPI. The compensation plan developer chooses the names of the volumes. In the following example, name PCV tracks how much CV each associate earns from orders they place, no matter their associate type. In the next example, Name Retail Orders counts how many orders the retail customer placed below each associate, and references a specific volume range. All volumes will use the template's volume range if there are none specified. In the examples shown, each calendar month is a separate period. Name Qualified Volume and Name PCV use the default volume range set in the COM period. This includes volume from orders placed this month, while Name Retail Orders only counts the orders made in the first 7 days of the month. See the link in the description below to view different volumes available to use. Tree volumes sum each person's downline volume. Volumes don't reference a tree, they assign values to individuals. All you need to do is name the new tree volume, reference a tree, and reference a volume defined in a previous volume section. Direct Scale's compensation plan system is option-based. You create different options or rules to program many different compensation plan types. The system cycles through every rule to see if it meets the defined conditions. Once an associate meets the rule conditions, it awards volume, bonus, or a new rank. Use rules for qualifying and defining ranks and bonuses. You reference the rule names as requirements to meet in other rules. Rules work together to ensure that the right people get paid. There's a lot to see here, so let's break these into sections. This rule determines the status used by other rules. In the example, the condition to meet to be active and qualified are have at least 100 qualified volume and a max QV of infinity, represented by -1. You can assign a rule to a specific associate type. There are 3 base associate types: distributor, retail customer, and preferred customer. See the link in the description below to learn more about base associate types and how to add new ones. The following example demonstrates setting up each associate type's rule definition. Rules have conditions and results, which set the rank. In this example, this first rule is for the silver rank, which requires you to be active and have a group volume of at least 500. The second rule is for gold rank, which requires for the associate to be at least a silver rank and have at least 1,000 group volume. Within a rule, the payments element defines what requirements are necessary to earn a payment, the group of associates that contribute volume to the payment, and the details of how much to pay. In the preceding example, the first qualification is to be active. You saw in the associate status section how to set up the active status rule. Next, they must have a volume of 2 in retail orders. This references a volume that you have to define earlier in the template. A retail associate needs to place an order under a distributor in the first week of the month. Finally, if those conditions are met, the result is a $5 payment. Associates can earn a percentage of their downline's volume. For example, if you are a silver rank, you will get 10% of the personal volume from the people in your Generation 1. If you are a gold rank, you will get 5% of the personal volume from your Generation 2. You can define a percentage for each generation. Rule names appear in commission profiles. The options panel references each rule by name, with the corresponding amount of who met each rule. Use pools to make payments. All you need to do is define the pool, name the pool, reference a tree volume defined above, and specify the percent of the volume the pool will use. KPIs, or Key Performance Indicators, are another name for stats. They keep track of your associate's performance and volume. The system uses KPIs in many places. On the Associate Details Summary Statistics section, the WebOffice Business Snapshot widget, the WebOffice Visual Tree sidebar, and the Report Center as filters and columns. Here's an example of a KPI in the XML. Each template KPI assigns description and key attributes. There's a 10-character limit for keys. Keys should be as concise as possible. It's recommended to have no spaces or special characters in keys. Keys don't appear anywhere in the UI, showing the descriptions instead. Descriptions have no character limit. They can be longer and more phrase-like. You can update descriptions at any time. Keys, however, should never change. You must configure the template that will track stats. See this video for more information. When creating your compensation plan with the XML editor, you define rank. To use these ranks in the system, you have to add the rank names, for example gold, and values, for example 20, to the CRM ranks table in the database, using the data editor. To access this page, you need to enable the following permission for your role. Edit SQL Editor. This allows access to edit data in the SQL tables. And Edit SQL Editor Advanced, which allows the user to write and execute SQL statements. This permission should be reserved for developers only. In the corporate office, navigate to the Administration section's Data Editor. Or, if using the Unified Admin, under the Corp Admin module, navigate to the Data Editor page in the Developer section. As a warning, there are risks when updating data directly in the database. Please use extreme caution when using this feature. In the Data Editor, search for and select the CRM ranks table. In the rank column, click the first field and enter your first rank name. In the rank ID column, enter the first rank's corresponding value. Click the checkmark to save the changes to the row. Repeat these steps for each rank. You now know the elements involved in creating a compensation plan in the corporate office. For more in-depth guides and videos, visit the Help Center at help.directscale.com. And thanks for watching.